right, everybody, this should be our last construction update. Stadium has to be open and ready this weekend. We're looking at right now this big open grass field that goes all the way up to Commercial Boulevard. We talked about it a little bit last week. I am now really convinced that this will be used for parking at least until this park is built. So all this has been fenced off. We've got a little bit of a gate here. Obviously nothing that officially closes. There's no closing portion of the gate, but you know, it looks like a way to funnel cars in, collect some money, something like that. But this is a very, very large grassy area that goes all the way to Commercial Boulevard over here next to Oriole Boulevard. Bunch of boulevards here. Let's go see if the stadium is ready. All right, we moved a little bit closer to the stadium. You can see this area has all been flattened out. They're actually currently getting ready to put up some more fencing. We've got guys here on the weekend putting up some fencing, getting it ready. Why is there all this new fencing? Has to be for parking. This area's all been flattened out, so it's ready for some concrete or just for some parking. As we peer across this entrance into the parking area or into the facility, we can see across here some new palm trees have been planted, some grass has been planted around the palm trees. The scoreboard looks like it's complete here on the south, and now they've started putting up this scrim or screening, whatever you want to call it, to cover up the rafters like we talked about recently. That was going to obviously happen so you don't just see metal. I mean, you can see through it, but you know, it's doing its job more or less. You know, it'll cover it up. And we pan over here, we see they're getting ready to put in some nice pinkish purple flowers. Got a new sign here, and the scrim needs to still be added here on the east side. And here on the east side, this is a sign for reserved parking, so you can come in here for reserved parking. Interesting thing here is it's called Fort Lauderdale Stadium on this sign. Meanwhile, on the scoreboards, it's called Inter Miami CF Stadium. Kind of interesting. Moving further east, we see our ticket booth, and I thought they would just paint it again, but instead of painting it, they've put up some of that paneling that you see all across the entire facility. It looks nicer, it looks better than a paint job. So before you could see that it was you know, cement and concrete blocks, and so now it's nice panels over that concrete block. Looks good. Right behind that ticket booth, we got a big Fanatics trailer. Fanatics are the supplier for all the merchandise for all MLS teams, so they are ready with all the merchandise you may want. Here's our look at the east side. Still only have 2 of those screens put up, but you can see where they have the brackets for where they'll put the Inter Miami sign. So that still has yet to be put up here on the east, and they have all these screens still to you know, be installed. They've got to get a move on. This has to be ready by Tuesday. I would say Tuesday, because we've got the pass holder training that's open to all season ticket holders. I don't really see any real progress over here other than they've got in the gate and the fencing, and they've got this sign here telling you where the ticket office is and VIP suites. Looks cool. And then also on the corners, I don't know if you can really see it, but they've got all the signs on the corners for section signs. So you got section 115 here, 114 over there, 112 and 113. We've got our mobile kitchen here next to all these little shipping containers, which I thought were also going to be used for merchandising, because one of them is. But these now, with it being right next to the mobile kitchen, look like they'll be the places where you'll get your food temporarily, because I don't think they're completely finished with the kitchen areas that they may have planned on installing. At least they have some kitchen areas on the west side. Maybe they didn't build any on the east side. So this is what looks like will be used to get your food and beverage. And it seems pretty obvious with the US Mobile Kitchen trailer right next to it, practically hooked up. And here's our northeast corner view. Another Fanatics trailer right there to get all your gear on game day. Just a couple seconds ago, I was showing you guys where you could get your Inter Miami gear when you're here at the games, at those Fanatic trailers. But if you want to know another great place to get your Inter Miami gear, probably the best place to get the best selection, you got to go to Caneswear. Caneswear.com, or go directly to the store on University Drive just south of 595. You guys are already driving from Miami all the way up here. Go to the store first. Go to the store, get all your gear. They're a great local store supporting our local businesses, and they're getting behind Inter Miami in a big way. They are a sponsor of this channel, so to be clear, you want to help support us, go support our sponsors. Go check them out, Caneswear. You know we're getting close to completion when they're spending time cleaning, pressure cleaning. The sidewalks make them look nice. And just behind the supporters section, you can see another sign for pick up and drop off, no parking. So this could be another spot where Uber drops you off. We know there's one on the east side that I've previously shown, and it looks like this could be another. All right, we got the back side of the supporter section. That also needs all that scrim added, nothing there. And then the back side of the Northwest Club section, VIP area. Looks great from the back. It looks complete. And you can tell from the wind, the way the wind is blowing, how that top part is kind of a black canvas of some sort. All right, we're on the back training pitch here, the artificial turf field just behind the stadium, and we've got this big metal beam structure, and looks like nothing has happened since last week. A popular opinion is that it could be some sort of scoreboard for this backfield. Makes sense, but nothing's happened with it since in the week. Obviously, more pressing matters on the stadium. Something new's been added back here. We got a trash can, and we've got some benches for the teams to sit on. So on both sides, we've got benches. So this looks done. I think you can check this one off, mark it completed. All right, we're on the back training pitches for our weekly grass report, and I say it's done because they painted lines on it. So it looks like they are ready to play some soccer on here if they haven't done so already. We know that the USL squad, Fort Lauderdale CF, has been playing back here somewhere on these backfields. I don't know if it's this field in particular, but they can. They've got the lines painted on here and ready to go. We got a guy out there checking the grass, making sure it's good. Check this out, guys. The south scoreboard is getting tested right now on this windy day. Let's zoom in a little, take a look. Looks great. Welcome to Inter Miami CF Stadium. Last week when we were here, they were testing out the audio. This week they're testing out this the scoreboard. It looks good. Can't wait. Getting excited just looking at this scoreboard. We just have a week. That's it, less than a week, depending on when you're watching this. Less than a week before we will be in this stadium. Same thing on a loop. Welcome to Inter Miami CF Stadium. Kind of zooming in there, then we go to pink in a second. Here's an even closer view of the scoreboard, but it's weird from this angle. On the screen, it looks all rainbow, but trust me, in person, it is pink and yellow and black. All right, we switched over to the west side, and this is a spot that I usually get a really nice view of the training facility. Well, they've just made that a little more difficult. If you ever thought, hey, I'm gonna go watch some Inter Miami training, they just made it a little harder because you're gonna have to look through this kind of scrim here along the fence just to make it a little bit harder to see what's going on. Not impossible, but a little harder. Plus, there's a lot of fresh sod right here. Doesn't look so good. We need a little bit of rain over here. This sod needs some help. Here's the south-facing side of the training facility. Good news, the sign is back. The Inter Miami crest is back. It wasn't broken, apparently. Apparently, it didn't fall off. I'm not sure why it was taken down, but it's back. It looks good. They're also adding some new asphalt here on this entrance, so this is going to be fresh asphalt. It's been, kind of scraped up for a while. This is the reserved parking VIP drop-off on the west side. Get a good look at this sign. I still find it odd that it says Fort Lauderdale Stadium when the stadium is called Inter Miami CF Stadium. Curious, what are your thoughts? The only thing I could think of is the stadium itself. Inter Miami CF Stadium is a short-term name. It's going to get some naming rights soon. More than likely, it's going to be Qatar Airways, but I guess this signage would stay as the Fort Lauderdale Stadium as opposed to the Miami Freedom Park Stadium. What are your thoughts? Why is this called Fort Lauderdale Stadium when the stadium itself is called Inter Miami CF Stadium? And from here we get a good view of that VIP area on the west. They're putting up some finishing touches. They're putting up some more of that like canvas or tarp that I talked about. Kind of, wrapping it on the cheap, if you will. But it's what needs to be done to get it up and running soon. And as we move further on the west, you could see still have some scrim that needs, or these screens that need to be added, but we've got an Inter Miami sign. Looks like the same basic size as the one on the training center, but we still have the same 6 screens. So it's just like the east side in that there's a lot of work as far as covering those, all that metal up, covering it up, make it look good. I still think that goes in quick, but it just needs to happen. And something else we see here on the west by parking lot A5 is the Lexus VIP entry. Interesting is that the club has not yet announced a relationship with Lexus. They haven't announced very many of their corporate sponsors, but we've just spotted one. So obviously Lexus is a sponsor here at the stadium, just like they are at the Bake Atlantic or whatever it's called for the Florida Panthers play. There's also a Lexus VIP area at that stadium. So keeping with that theme, Lexus is now a sponsor of Inter Miami. Moving further west, we could see the scoreboard still getting tested here. We can get a good view of it from the west side. That is the south end section. It's just running on this loop for the last hour. So if you're coming in and you're seated on the west side, this is your entrance here. This is your first entrance point right here from the west side. Fort Lauderdale Stadium, and this is your A reserved parking VIP drop-off. So the first entry point into the stadium from the west side is right here, and then you can look over here to get an idea of where the stadium is right there. Man, it's windy. Stryker Boulevard sign is still down, but we still have some history. Fusion Boulevard sign is still up here on the west side. This area over here still looks like a massive muddy construction site, and by the time of Saturday, by the time game time, I don't see this looking any better, but that's okay. As long as the stadium is functioning, this can work itself out over time. Well, folks, we may have just done our final construction update, but when you look at how much is still undone, there's still a possibility that we may have to come out here even after March 14th to get a stadium update. We'll have to see the progress. So, from the whole time we've been filming these construction updates, I've been really positive that we will make it for the opening day. And I'm still positive the stadium will be functioning for opening day. But I don't think it's going to be 100% complete. I think it's going to be complete just enough to have a game in there. Functioning bathrooms, functioning field, some portable areas for food and beverage, portable areas for your gear. A lot of portable aspects to this stadium while the finishing touches are added. There's still a lot of finishing touches that have yet to be added. But we will get a better view of it on Tuesday as we get to go inside for the training for the season ticket holders. Open training session for the season ticket holders to come. So I hope to see you guys there. If you see me, come say hi, and I'll be there with the family and watching the training and getting a close inside look of the stadium. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next week.